We will continue our learning for Microsoft Access query. This is a query for employees and the departments they work in. Here, 3 fields have been selected from the 2 tables. By clicking on Run, the data of these fields will appear. If we want to perform totals for this data, we click here on Totals. Group By will appear at the bottom next to the total row for each field. And upon running, all the data will appear like this to avoid repeating the same data for the fields. We choose here from the total menu the count for the employees' names field. This is to calculate the number of employees in the same department and the same salary. We click on Run, and here we notice the counting numbers for the employees. For example, the counting 2 in the legal department with a salary of 4,800. So, the number of employees in the legal department with the same salary has been counted, because the salaries and departments have been grouped. For example, 2 employees working in the financial department with a salary of 3,000. And also 3 working in the financial department with a salary of 6,000. By clicking on Design to go back to the query. And to get the total salaries in each department, we click here at the salary field and choose Sum. And Group By at the department and Count at the employees. Then we click on Run. The number of employees in the production department with a salary of 4,000 will appear here. And the number of 7 employees in the legal department and the total of their salaries is 34,400. 14 employees in the financial department. And the total of their salaries is 76,500. By clicking on the salary field again to add it, then choosing the average from the total menu. Then clicking on Run. The average of employees' salaries in each department will appear here. And to reduce the decimal places in the average values, click here on Property Sheet. Then select Fixed from the Format menu. And choose 0 from the Decimal Fractions menu. Decimal places will be removed from the average values. Here, we notice the default titles for the fields according to the selected totals. The total is written next to the field name. If we want to change the title as we wish, right-click on the field, then choose Zoom. Write here total salaries, then colons. Then, OK, and run. The written title for the total salaries field will appear. By clicking on the salary field to add it like this. And choosing the min from the totals menu, to get the minimum salary for employees in each department. For example, in the production department there is 1 employee with a salary of 4,000, and the legal department has 7 employees, the least salary for them is 3,000, and here, their total salaries and the average of their salaries appear. There are 14 employees in the financial department, and the least salary for them is 2,000. By clicking on the salary field to add it, and choosing the max from the totals menu, the highest salary for employees in each department will appear. By clicking on the salary field to add it like this. and choosing the StDev from the Totals menu. The standard deviation of salaries for employees in each department will appear. By clicking on the property sheet, then choosing Fixed at the Format box, and choosing 2 for decimal places. The deviation values will appear with 2 decimal places. And if we click on the number, the whole value will appear. Also, click on the salary field to add it, and choose VAR from the Totals menu. The diversity range between employee salaries will appear. Decimal places can be specified by clicking on the property sheet, then Format, then Fixed, then choose 2 for decimal places. The values will appear with only 2 decimal places like this. By clicking on the Hire Date field to add it, and choosing Group By from the Totals menu, we will notice the data grouped according to the dates. We observe the division of the 14 employees in the financial department according to the dates. They are divided into 3 dates as presented, and grouping is done according to each date. By clicking on the Hire Date field to add it, then choosing the first from the Totals menu, and here, we choose the last from the Totals menu. The first and last hiring dates for each group will be displayed. By clicking on the Salary field to add it, then choosing Expression from the Totals menu, right-click and choose Zoom. Write salary multiplied by 0.1 and name it tax. The 10% ratio of salaries will be displayed, titled tax. This percentage is of the total salaries for each group. If we want to calculate a percentage of the average for each group, right-click here and then choose Zoom. Then write average multiplied by 0.05 with the title Average Tax. Then choose Expression from the Totals menu. It will display the product of the average for each group by 5%. Click on the property sheet, then Format, then Fixed, then 0 for decimal places. The average tax will be displayed without decimal places like this. Here, we see the average for each group and the 5% ratio of it. By clicking on the Salary field to add it, and choosing Where from the Totals menu. This is to set a condition on the totals. Notice that when selecting where, the field selection is removed. This is because it's a condition and not a total, so the field won't be displayed. For example, if we write a condition greater than 5,000, totals for salaries greater than 5,000 will be displayed. Notice the decrease in the number of employees due to applying this condition. For instance, there are 7 employees with salaries ranging from 6,000 to 10,000. For example, if the condition is changed to greater than 6,000, the number of employees will decrease due to applying this condition. As we know, if a condition is placed in the lower row, the first or second condition will be applied. For example, if we write in the second row greater than 3,000, notice the increase in the number of employees due to applying the first or second condition. If 2 conditions are written with and between them, employees who satisfy both conditions will be displayed. Those with salaries ranging from 2,000 to 5,000, for example. By clicking on the sort row and choosing, for example, the average field, then choosing descending order, the data will be displayed in descending order based on the average values of the groups. We'll stop here for today, and stay tuned for upcoming videos. If you like this video, click like, share and subscribe to get the new videos. And visit us at Fair's Solution. Thank you and have a nice day.